Hey guys, welcome back to this new video. Today's video we're gonna delve deep into what combos are good to learn. I've been teasing a combo video for a while now. Here it finally is, the top 10 combos. Now I didn't want to just make this all about my opinion, so I asked around the community what other people thought were good combos. And I put them all in a list, and here we are. Every combo will have a star rating at the bottom right of the video, if you want to know how hard it is. Easiest being half a star, hardest being 5 stars. Now this of course is gonna be all my opinion, so if you disagree I'm sure you're gonna let me know in the comments down below. At number 10 we have the cube rain. The setup for this combo is very easy. It's done by spawning a cube, and that's it. The rest of the sequence will be cube straight, cube straight, cube straight. Next one is a combo that is so old that it's been in the game since day one. The move is called Stuut Kick. It's a very basic move, it's easier than the cube rain, and you can use it in a lot of situations. Here's what it looks like. It's done by putting your hand up here, moving into straight, and then moving down into kick. The timing for this move isn't too specific, but it might take some time to get used to it. This is truly one of the first combos you should learn when you're starting out. This move can be used in a lot of situations. It can be to pressure, it can be to defend. Next up on the list is a little bit of a troll combo, and it's called the cube spam. Now experienced players are probably gonna attack me in the comments for this one, but hear me out. Cube spamming is the act of repeatedly spawning a cube under your opponent to chain damage them. When you're practicing this though, be sure to always go back to your base pose. If you use this correctly and your opponent doesn't use flowstone, this can easily do 1/4 to half their health if you do it correctly. It's very easy to do, but it might be hard to pull off since you need to be very close to your opponent. Alright, next one. Next up on the list is the Cannonball, or the Speedball, or whatever you want to call it. I call it the Cannonball, a lot of people call it the Speedball. It's done by spawning a ball and then moving into straight with that same hand. You can spawn ball and then punch with your other hand, but this is not as fast. I forgot to mention that sometimes you want this to happen because depending on the person you fight it might go over their head on a certain distance. This has to do with player height and stuff like that. Okay, let's continue. This move is good not only because it does 2 damage, but also because you can spawn it in very quickly. Now when fighting shorter people, you might find that your cannonball goes over your opponent. If this happens, you can either do a delayed cannonball, or do the following sequence. Ball, uppercut straight. Ball, uppercut straight. This move is really good also because you can send them over walls. They take a little bit longer to spawn, but you can also steer them once you've already started casting it. Oh my god, I just said casting. But again, great move for putting things over walls. Keep this in mind. Next up on the list is going to be a combo that you're going to be very familiar with. It's none other than our friendly Speed Disc. Speed Disc is the first combo you should learn when you're starting out in Rumble, but it's also one of the fastest moves you can do in the game. It's pretty hard to parry, but it's easily countered with any other structure. But I highly recommend you learn this one first because it's really good and it shows you how the combos work. The Speed Disc is done by spawning a disc and then moving into straight with that same hand. Keep in mind that your arm rotations need to be exact, and try and do it in one fluid motion. I do my discs left-handed, but it can also be done with a right hand, of course. This all comes down to preference. Now this next combo is going to be a 1 in 4 combo, but they're so similar in nature that I thought I'd show them off as one. Now there isn't really a name for it, so I'm just going to call it the Kick Uppercut Straight Brothers. And those are the following. Kick uppercut straight. kick straight uppercut, uppercut kick straight, and uppercut straight kick. These 4 combos are all used for slightly different situations. They all have their own upsides, and they all have their own downsides. Some roll a bit after you did them, and some don't do that. Knowing when to use which one all comes down to practice, but I'll give you some tips. Kick straight uppercut, for example, goes in a pretty straight line, and it's really good for sending over other cubes. Uppercut straight kick also goes in a straight line, but it doesn't have enough height to go over cubes, but it's way faster. Uppercut kick straight is very similar, but it can also go over walls. And again, you'll learn when to use which one after you practice it a lot. At some point, you won't even have to think about it anymore, I promise you. Alright, let's go to the next one. This next one is almost the hardest one on the list, but it's totally worth practicing if you like having fun. It's none other than the Alyu. And it goes as follows. You start out by spawning the object that you want to Alyu. Then you spawn a cube under that and you straight that cube. This is very important. The reason why is because you get knocked back a bit. This is important because the knockback you get from straighting grants you the perfect angle to jump and flick. After you jump, you have to turn around, go flick, and then move into a flowstone jump. Ow. Now this looks very fancy, but in my experience, isn't actually too hard to learn. Ow. There's all different kinds of alley-oops, but they all kind of follow the same principle. On number 3, we have the Stupper Cut. Stupper Cut is a move you're probably already familiar with if you played the game a little bit. It's done by doing straight and then uppercut. Stupper Cut is a harder version of the straight kick. They go about the same distance, but Stupper Cut is way faster and has some more randomness to it, especially when you do it on cubes. Cubes can roll, bounce, and do all other fun stuff. The Stupper Cut is the true bread and butter of Rumble, and it's really worth it to learn. Let's go over to the next combo. It is the Stupper Cut Kick. Stupper Cut Kick goes as follows. Stupper Cut Kick is performed very quickly. A great way to practice this move is by having a friend in a different region hosting a park, because this combo is actually easier on client. Once you can do it reliably on client, I recommend you try it on host. Now again, you might have a lot of problems with this one, because it is very hard to learn. See? I can't even... Ugh. But okay, enough stretching of the video. Let's go over to the number 1. The number 1 combo is so versatile, I don't even have a word for it. It's none other than our best friend, the Slingshot. Slingshotting is when you use the momentum of hold that pushes things forward in other combos. When something is also ungrounded, it'll also give a lot of upward boost. Now there's 2 major ways to do a slingshot, and that is the normal slingshot and the pivot slingshot. Pivot slingshot being superior, but not always the best move, because you leave yourself very open. Slingshotting can almost be added to every combo you know. For example, the Stupper Cut. This is a pivot slingshot Stupper Cut. It works really well on walls too, and on any other object you can think of. Slingshotting is super versatile, and there's a lot of things you can do with it. You can even slingshot a Stupper Cut Kick, but I have yet to be able to do that. I'm not even gonna try. But there you have it, the 10 best combos in the game. If you agree or disagree, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your input. And I will see you all in the next one. Be out.